Welcome to iScope Media. You're watching one-on-one exclusive with iScope Media. We know about the worsening situations in Ukraine and how we have been hearing bombing sounds and how the students there have been suffering since a long time. But we know that the Indian students have been evacuated, and same we have an evacuated student with us, Jatin Teja. He has been doing MBBS in Ukraine. He is a fifth-year student, and we'll be knowing the ground realities from him, how he has suffered and what has gone through, what has been the long process, what has been the short process, what he has gone through exactly in this entire process. So let's start with, hi Jatin, welcome to our show.
Hi ma'am, hello.
So Jatin, what was the process of evacuation for the Indian students in Ukraine? Were you people evacuated from Ukraine or from the neighboring cities?
Yeah, from the starting, it seems like we have to fill the form given by the embassy, like Google Forms. And we have to fill the details, like we have to type the full names and passport details, home state, and the where we study, the where we live, and everything, so that the embassy can make a plan of action.
Okay.
The process, it's gonna be like it depends on actually, as of I heard, the embassy was like they want to evacuate from the border Ukraine, Romania, Poland, Slovakia, and Hungary borders. The universities which are at the near to the borders, they plan to evacuate first. Later on, the main plan of action is to evacuate the students from the cities like Kharkiv, Kyiv, Zaporozhye. So the first priority was given to the universities at the border, the border of other countries. Yeah, this was a plan of action.
Right. You were in which city, Jatin?
I was in the city called Chernivtsi.
Okay.
From Bukovina State Medical University.
Okay. How far is it from the border? Is it like in the center or somewhere?
No, it is in the west south.
Okay.
Of Ukraine. And the border of Romania is like 30 to 40, like 40 kilometers far from our city.
Okay.
So it's very near when compared to other cities.
Right.
So the evacuation took very less time.
Right. So Jatin, how difficult was it for you to reach the border and cross it from Ukraine? We know, I mean, we have known that the shelling sounds have been continuous in Ukraine.
Yeah.
How difficult has it been for you? We know already 2 Indian students have been dead. So what was that entire process? And did the Ukraine government help you, or any help from the Indian government you got?
Like both the governments of Ukraine and India work together in this process of evacuation. And as we see in our universities, the consultants of our universities work really hard. They apart from the plan of action of embassy, they made a plan of our universities. They gave priority to girls, like as usual, to the girls, and they divided the students into 5 batches. And the first 3 batches mostly consist of girls and a few boys. And they started evacuating in the process, like first batch and second batch and third batch, and later on like that. And I was from the final batch of 4 and 5.
Oh my God. Okay. So how many more students were evacuated with you?
Like the last batch, like 4th and 5th batch, consists of 500 people, 500 students from our university.
Are there still like Indian students stuck in Ukraine?
Yeah, as of I heard that still Sumy, there is a place called Sumy, and there is a university in that Sumy. It's like very close to the to the Russian border, and I heard that some students are still stuck there, and the situation there is like very dangerous and very devastating. As I saw some videos from the social media, like they had no food, no water, and the electricity is off. They use the snow outside, the milk boil, and they are drinking now.
Oh my God.
Very sad to hear.
Yeah. Can you also give us a sneak peek of what are the struggles being faced by the students in Ukraine, especially in your area where you have been staying?
Like due to the I want to say that Indian embassy in Ukraine acted a little bit slow when compared to other embassies of like US and UK and other countries. because they have given the advisories very late. That means our universities are like, the main thing is in Ukraine is we have 100% of attendance. That means like if you even absent for one day, you are not able to write the semester exams. So this means it made a lot difficult for us to understand the situation and to get out from the country. So if we leave the country, we'll get the absence, and it's difficult for us to complete our semester. So it's been a tough choice, and we are in dilemma for a long time. And the embassy, the late advisories of the embassies are, it still put us in dilemma. They finally they have given some advisories, so that they gave advisories on 20th of Feb, so that students started booking tickets, and every ticket is full, like every flight is full. So that luckily I got on 24th Feb. But very sadly, the Putin attacked Kyiv on 24th.
Yeah.
Like I was traveling on from 23rd night from like Chernivtsi to Kyiv. It's like 500 kilometers. I started on 23rd night, 9 p.m. and I reached Kyiv at morning 5:30. As of I heard from the news that Putin started shelling Kyiv on 4 a.m. at morning 4 a.m.
Yes.
We just entered the city. After we entered the city, the bombing was stopped for a while, but we are still stuck in city.
So,
actually,
were you stuck in Kyiv?
Yes, I'm stuck in Kyiv.
Oh,
like
okay.
we are in bus. Like we students who have flights on 24th Feb, we got to Kyiv in 2 buses. I'm the one in 1 bus. And we are traveling to Kyiv, and at morning 5:30 I was in Kyiv. But as we heard the news of shelling in the nearby the airport, we just stopped our bus, and we waited for the confirmation that airspace is closed and our flights got cancelled. We are waiting for the emails from the respective airlines. So by 6:30 everyone got their mails that airspace is closed and flights are cancelled. So we decided we got into dilemma that where we have to go. Like should we go to the embassy in Kyiv, or should we head back to our Chernivtsi? But like the consultants who of our university suggested to come back to the Chernivtsi, like where I study.
Okay.
So we have to travel again from Kyiv to Chernivtsi, like that is like 500 kilometers again. So it's a continuous journey, and as we know that during this such crisis in a capital like Kyiv, everyone, like every citizen wants to get out of the city. So the day the traffic was like so peak, and the whole national highways were blocked. Like it took like nearly more than 10 hours to just come from the city to outskirts. Like just for like 5 kilometers of traffic, it took like 10 hours for us. Like it's a journey of nearly 41 hours journey in total. At last, I'm back on 25th afternoon to my university.
Right,
From
Jatin,
there, I wait.
I'm just a little curious about one particular thing. How difficult was it for you to reach the borders? Isn't it very, very dangerous right now and very risky for people to reach the borders, and especially Indian embassy asking students to reach the borders? So don't Indian embassy have options of getting students from Ukraine, or do they have only options from outside borders?
Yeah, as we know that the airspace is closed and everywhere shelling is happening. Like they don't even mention when and where the shelling will happen and bombardings will happen.
Right.
So no one has no idea. So the Indian embassy, I think Indian government like planned for the perfect plan, like bringing students from the neighboring countries. I think it is the most good idea that Indian embassy and Indian government has taken, because it is very safe from at first, like from the other countries, because Putin can't enter into the space of other countries.
Right.
He has war with only Ukraine, so it's very safe for the students. But reaching the border and crossing the border is the biggest task of every student. Like reaching the border, they have to survive in the city they have to survive in the country with no food. Like some universities, some places like Kyiv and Kharkiv and Zaporozhye and Sumy, Chernihiv, these are the places like they are so worse the situation. They don't have even food, water to drink, and they hide in bunkers. So the first priority is like they have to get out of the city, and then they have to reach the border. This is the most devastating thing that every student has gone through. The main goal is to reach the border, whatever it takes to reach the border, like whatever it takes. Only they had I heard many of the students carried only passport, poshvitka. Like poshvitka means like a student visa with them. Only an emergency bag with little snacks in that, and they just ran through trains or through buses, whatever it means. And the very worst thing is that the Indian ATM cards were stopped working from the past 1 week.
Oh my
From
God, why so exactly? Why Indian?
like we don't know the exact reason. I heard that the internet hackings were happening, like Russian hackers were hacking internet sites of Ukraine, and the ATM, many banks were stopped working. And that was one of the like worst thing that happened to the students. Like they had no money first of all. When it is a war crisis, it will be like more the prices will hike, and everyone demands more. Students have no money, so it was one of the worst situation students face. If like the money is the basic thing now. If you don't have money, we lose half of the courage.
Correct.
So that's the main thing. And after reaching the border, the struggle is so real that you have to cross the border. For crossing, there are like thousands of students want to cross the border. You can imagine the situation.
Yeah, right.
And I'll tell the situation in my area. If the students of my university, students from the first and second batch, evacuation just started, and the first Indians to reach Ukraine is from our university, and that was those people are so lucky, and they can easily cross the border. But from the third batch, from the second and third batch, the struggle is so real that they have to walk 10 kilometers from inside the border, like from Ukraine, like near the border to the border.
Oh, they have to walk literal 10 kilometers.
Yeah, literally 10 kilometers with all the trolleys with it. Like every trolley will be minimum 20 kgs, 20 to 30 kgs. It was full. And a hand baggage. Few people have like a laptop bag also, like at most 3 bags. They have to walk like 5 to 10 kilometers. Depends on the traffic of the, of the traffic. Some days, like one day it will have 7 kilometers of traffic. So like that, the like Ukrainian people are so feared and afraid, so that everyone are leaving Ukraine and going to the neighboring countries, to the like Romania, Poland, Hungary. They're traveling by car. Like they have the visas of all those countries. They have Schengen visa, so they can travel anywhere in the European countries. So it made still difficult for Indian students to like cross the border. But with the help of Embassy of India and help of Indian government and the Ukrainian Romanian government, police escorts were given to us to clear the traffic. Like our when we had traveling, by analyzing the situation of second and third batches, the fourth and fifth batches were very careful. They had police escort up to the border. Like 3 kilometers before the border, they have police escort, and so that we could like, for us, luckily we don't have to walk those kilometers with all the weight and all the luggage. But the students and my friends who travel in the second and third batch, they're mostly girls. You can imagine the situation. Like they can't even handle luggage.
Yes.
So it's very difficult for them, and especially with the third batch. It's like, they spent 2 days, whole 2 days on the roads. No shelter was given, no food was given, no water. And the temperature was -7 degrees, and it was snowing. Like literally you may think like it's 7 degrees, but the border was so empty. The buildings were so low, and the air was so like frequent. The speed of air was very quick. It was cold airs are coming, and our literally our hands and our ears and face was frostbite. Like few students have gone through low BP and they like fell down, and they have a few people have frostbites. It was like you can't even imagine the situation of those people. And it's very sad that most of them are so girls. Like our friends are like most of them are girls, and I can't even imagine how the situation. Like when I went, in the third batch, as I've said, that they stayed there for 2 days, and 3,000 people were waiting to cross the border, and there was so rush, like everyone were pushing, and to control the crowd, the border security has to fire the air fire. They shot three. They have done 3 shots so that they can calm the students, but they couldn't. Unfortunately,
Right.
they tried so hard to control the students.
Right.
It took 2 days for them to cross.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. That's a really saddening situation. I'm sure a lot of people watching our show right now would have not imagined this, because all we have got to know from social media that shelling is happening and the students are being evacuated. But this is a ground reality that you have told us today.
Yes.
Moving on, Jatin, we are really curious about knowing what about the courses that you guys were pursuing there. And how will the students now complete the courses in the near future? Like, especially you after spending years in MBBS.
Like in Ukraine, most of the students come to study MBBS, and I have heard some students also come to pursue their engineering. But mostly, like I think 80%, 80 to 90% come to Ukraine to study MBBS. Because the situation in India, like there are many less seats.
Yes.
And like pursuing MBBS in India is like too costly here.
Yes, very
so everyone go to the other countries. So Ukraine had a better chance for students to complete their dream. So we got chance there, and we went there to study. Like the total course of MBBS is 6 years there, and it's very sad to hear like spending these many years here is like it is like our second home, like 6 years, and spending these 5 years, like every student feels it's a second home for us. Like spending 6 years is not an easy thing in another country. So everyone are connected to Ukraine. Like students are connected to Ukraine.
Correct. So Jatin, now what about the future? How will you people complete your course? What will happen now?
Like the Indian government is, the students are so worried at first, and the Indian government, the National Medical Council is planning, like they have meetings is going on, and as I've heard and as I saw in the Twitter, they said that some ministers, some central ministers have given some hope for us that we can study in the neighboring country of Poland. So we can continue our course from there. National Medical Council is also seeing to complete our courses in India. It may happen or not, I don't know. But as of now, we are in dilemma, and everyone is now taking some rest. Like we are traveling for whole 1 week, and the mental stress there, like post-trauma stress will be there. So as of now, everyone are who came back from Ukraine are just relaxing and spending time with their families and friends. And we are waiting for the decision from the universities of our Ukraine government and the government of India. Like they said they'll let us know what will happen in near future.
Right, Jatin. So currently you're in Andhra Pradesh, right?
Yeah, I'm in Andhra.
Yeah. So can we know the entire process, how you reached Andhra Pradesh? So from you went to Romania, and after that?
Yeah, we crossed the border of Romania on 28th night, and we stayed in Romania for nearly 2 days. And the Romanian people are so good, like they helped a lot for us. After reaching the border, we got such a relief that we came to our home country. Like we are very safe. We got that feeling. Before in the in the Ukrainian border, there were no facilities at all. I I don't know why they didn't make some facilities for the students, at least shelter to
Right.
to avoid the cold winds.
Right.
No one is asking for hotels and everything, just for a shelter to hold the cold air. But nothing was there in the Ukrainian side. But after crossing the Romanian border, the hospitality we got is like so good. And Romanian people, the local NGOs, the social workers, everyone came to us, literally asked what you want, tell us, like take rest, take shelter, like take some food. Everyone came, like we are their kids. Like they came to us, they supply everything like what we need, and they guided us where to go and how to reach the Indian embassy. Indian embassy arranged some buses for us. So we traveled in bus from Romanian border to a shelter nearby. It's a stadium. We stayed there for one night. And from the stadium they transferred through to another bus. The bus traveled from that shelter to the Romanian capital, known as Bucharest. In Bucharest they gave us some hostels, and ours is aeronautical college, and the faculty there also so hospitable for us. They provided food, everything, like basic needs were provided to us. And the sad thing in this also is that Romania is like now full. The Romanian border is full, and most of the 50 to 60%, like more than 50% of students all over Ukraine came to the Romanian border and crossed the border. So as we see the schedule of the flights, most of the flights, like the frequency of the flights increases through Romania. So we can see the situation and the crowd in Romania. So luckily we got the hostels. Few people got some IT buildings. Those were empty, like as of COVID. Those were empty. Some stayed in the IT rooms, halls, lecture halls, something like that. A few got shelter in church. Some few got shelter in some restaurants, something like that. Everyone was okay, like better than in Ukraine. Everyone feels safe, had food, took rest, and from there we got embassy let us know that you have any problems like in Romania. But as of when compared to Ukraine, like we are very much safer and comfortable there. So after 2 days, embassy called us. Embassy sent some notifications to the local authorities of our hostel, and they prepared us. They gave the time. They told us you have some time, just be prepared, you're going to the airport. So after reaching Bucharest, like students were divided, and they were sent in different planes. Like some went through the Air India, some went to the Air Force C-17, some went to Indigo Airlines, like that. We divided, and we reached. A few people reached Delhi, and few people reached Mumbai. And as of me, I reached Mumbai. From Mumbai, like when we landed in Mumbai, our government, like Andhra government, were so happy by seeing us, and we are so excited to meet our Indians, like our people. They arranged, they gave us food. Immediately after reaching, they spoke with us. They gave us food. They're very nice to us, and even our government made special arrangements to reach their hometowns. They booked flights to nearest airports, and from there they provided transport to our hometowns. It was very lucky and very nice to see some good gesture from the state governments and central governments.
Right.
Everyone worked together in this crisis and made it possible.
Right. So, like you said, Jatin, and I'm sure our audience is hearing that how much help these particular students are getting from the Indian government as well as the Indian embassy. And also the state governments are actually helping them to reach to their hometown itself. So it's not like they have come back to India and they are left then and there. They are brought back to their hometowns. And we also heard how helping has the Romania embassy has been to them, to the Indian students and to all the other students. Also, we heard along with that how devastating the situation is in Ukraine, how dangerous it is while they have to cross the border without food, without shelter. There have been situations where the students have been facing so much of problems, and we did not know these ground realities of Ukraine. And thank you, Jatin, for telling us this entire ground realities. And I'm sure the audience knows what is true and what is not, because social media, we know, has been giving us a lot of fake news also. So currently, thank you, Jatin, for letting us know the ground realities, because he is someone who has recently been evacuated. Thank you for coming to our show, Jatin.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So this was Aparna Singhdar reporting for iScope Media. Keep watching. We'll bring you more videos, more interviews. Stay tuned.